The Pac-10 champion Southern California Trojans. Their 27th Rose Bowl game over the years. Larry Smith's third season. And it's the third successive championship for him, second successive year in the Rose Bowl. And here is Bo Schembechler, who will close out a 21-year career at the University of Michigan today as the Wolverines, the Big Ten champions, come into the bowl. Bob Greasy, if the game goes as expected, there are two young men that eventually will have to step forward and play a key role. Those would be the two quarterbacks.
Well, the teams are so strong, Keith, that if you look for something that is not so strong, I think you have to look at the quarterbacks. One is a fifth-year senior, the other's a redshirt freshman. They're playing against two of the best defenses in the country. Michael Taylor, the fifth-year senior, leads Michigan. He's the most efficient quarterback ever at the University of Michigan. His problem is he's had some injuries. He is not a pure passer. He has not practiced well this week. He has some nerve problems in his arm.
The young man,
the redshirt freshman Todd Marinovich, has done great. He was the first quarterback ever named, redshirt freshman quarterback ever named to the All-Pac-10 team. He has played very well. When he struggles, the team struggles. They're going to try and cut the game plan down for him, take some of that mental load off of him today.
All right, we're ready to play the Rose Bowl game between the Southern California Trojans and the Michigan Wolverines, and Michigan has been designated the home team. The Southern California Trojans will have the football in the first possession of the ball game. These two teams played last January 2nd. Michigan came from behind to win. Michigan came out here, played UCLA in the second game of the season, won by a single point. And here they are playing in the Rose Bowl turf for a third time in this calendar year. Bo Schembechler closing out 21 years at the University of Michigan as football coach with this game today. Emotion on both sides as high as you can get it. Travis Hanna is the middleman for Southern California with J.D. Carlson to kick it off. And the game, number 76, is on. Way deep into the end zone. Carlson showing, I think, perhaps with that kick, how high his team is, because this is the coach's last game. Southern California in the white, the visiting team in the designation, and Todd Marinovich comes out. You see the numbers on him. NCAA freshman record. He is a youngster who grew throughout the season, though in his last game in the regular season, he was not particularly sharp against UCLA. It was a 10-10 tie. The first snap of the day with Ricky Irvins, the tailback, Leroy Holt, the fullback. Holt has the ball and picks up 6 yards on the carry. Marinovich is 6'4", 210 from Balboa, California at quarterback. Ricky Irvins, the tailback, 5'8", 190, grew up just a few minutes from the Rose Bowl. Leroy Holt is from Carson, California. The wideouts are Gary Wellman and John Jackson, also native Californian. Galbraith, the tight end. Moody, Parkinson, Leggett, Tucker, and Schultz are the big people up front for Southern California. Moody playing in place of Pat Harlow, who has a herniated disc. And on the second play, Marinovich throws complete to Wellman, first down. Wellman across the 30 at the 33. The defense for the University of Michigan lines up with Evans, Teeter, and Hutchinson down. And Marshall, Grant, Anderson, Abrams, the backers, with Marshall and Abrams playing pretty much as defensive ends. In the secondary, and it's a very good one, led by two outstanding safeties, Wellborn and Murray. Key and Dutton are the corners. They play on real grass at the Rose Bowl. The referee today is Jim Kimberling out of the Big Ten. The umpire is John Pemberton of the Pac-10. It's a mixed crew. Headlinesman Wayne Meese, Big Ten. Charles Zubin, Pac-10, the line judge. Michael Sheehan, Big Ten, the field judge. Gary Hurst, the side judge, and Richard Reels, the back judge. On first down.
Let's go. Hold on.
Ball is at the 32-yard line. You pitch it to Ricky Irvins, and he turns the corner. And he gets to the 39, where Veda Murray makes the tackle. Working on the sidelines today. First off, here is Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, a lot of people are wondering whether Bo's final game will give the Wolverines a psychological edge over the USC Trojans. I don't think so. First of all, it hasn't sunk in to the players that Bo's retiring. And second, the Wolverines always play hard. But I was riding the team bus earlier this morning, and I did get a sense that there's a fair sense of commitment, a commitment to send Bo out a winner. Keith?
Second down and 3 from the 39. Irvins, his second carry, close to the marker. And Mike Teeter, the middle guard for Michigan, brings him down. On the Southern California side of the field, Jack Arute.
Keith, it's been interesting to trace the emotional tide here since they arrived at the stadium. Now, Leroy Holt normally is the man that gives the inspirational message, the last man to talk in the locker room. For the first time this year, he did not have anything to say as they went out to the tunnel. In fact, he left the last words to the coach, Larry Smith. And what Larry Smith said, quite simply, was, have fun.
Larry is 0 for bowls. He wants one. This is his third successive trip as the head man of the Trojans.
And also, the seniors of USC have never won a bowl game. They've been in 3 and have not won a bowl.
The ball is on the 42-yard line. It was a first down by a half of football. And we are just getting underway. The day is not totally clear. Some haze has settled in, but it's quite comfortable to play a football game. Marinovich throws underneath and completes it to John Jackson. And Jackson, who has been a record-setting performer at Southern California, hauls it in and gets it over on the Michigan side of the field for another first down.
Big completion for the young redshirt freshman, Todd Marinovich. Build his confidence. The last game of the year, you mentioned the UCLA game, Keith, where Southern Cal was tied by UCLA. They were a big favorite. Coaches felt like they maybe gave this young man too much, too many checkoffs, too many things to think about. They've cut it back, just going to let him go out and play, take some of the mental pressure off of him.
Fullback Holt. And Leroy Holt, who is a hammer, will pick up about 3 on the carry. Eric Anderson, inside linebacker for the Wolverines, and their leading tackler, made that stop and gets up very slowly. And there's a Trojan getting up very slowly. It's one of the down linemen, Brent Parkinson. So I think Brent's going to have to come out. He's had his bell rung. He is really wobbling around.
Take a look at number 37, Eric Anderson, the leading tackler for the Michigan Wolverines. They're slanting to the left side. Plays off the block there of Tucker, number 75, and gets in and makes the tackle.
And you saw 71 Parkinson going down in the stack. I can't tell if he's just wobbling around because of getting run into by somebody, or whether he's really hurt a leg or something.
On the right-hand side, yeah, number 71 on the right-hand side just gets fallen on. Parkinson made the All Pac-10 team as an offensive guard this season.
Second down and 6. And Ricky Irvins is hemmed in and brought down, and the tackle will go to Anderson, with Grant getting a piece of it and Teeter helping out in filling the hole. Anderson gets a lot of tackles, and he's only a sophomore because he occupies that inside backer position.
He was a running back in high school and linebacker. That's one of the reasons he has a number 37. He came as a running back. His father played pro ball, and his grandfather played professional football.
Joel Scott is in there right now. You get a nickel back on 3rd down and 5, a long 5, I might say. And Marinovich back to throw. He looks, he goes for Scott. Scott has the catch. He's just short of the 35-yard line, and he may have it. If they mark him where the man is standing on this side, it will be a first down, and it is. So once again, the kid hits it.
At the beginning of the year, they were trying to protect Marinovich. At the end of the year, they felt like maybe he had too much to think about. Just a little quick out by Scott. Key is right there on the coverage, and the ball is there on time, and it's a first down.
At the Michigan 35-yard line. And number 72 Took off too soon. That's Michael Moody, and he's new at that position. It is a position that normally would be played by Pat Harlow. And Pat, I understand, is to have surgery on a herniated disc problem in his back.
Come on, guys.
We have a dead ball, false start on the offense. First down.
Pretty hard to miss Moody. He's 6'7", 290. So back it up 5 to the 40 on first down at 15. Ball goes to Ricky Irvins. Irvins is slowed down behind the line of scrimmage. Another penalty flag goes flying into the stack. It was number 24, Bobby Abrams, that came up and got a hand on him and slowed him down. Jim Kimberling will define the penalty. So somebody got a piece of a face mask. Larry Smith talking about his football team getting ready for this ball game, feeling confident going into the ball game.
We've prepared 6 running plays, and we've got about 6 to 8 passes that we really feel confident with. Now, those would be our base. Now, we have a few little variations depending upon situations, your goal lines, your short yardage, your 2-point plays, blitz control, that type of thing. But for the most part, the game will be won with the offense executing those 6 or 8 running plays, those 6 running plays, and those 8 passes.
How do you find it? Say simple but complicated, huh? So they go back to the original line of scrimmage after the inadvertent face mask, and on first down and 10, it's Irvins, the junior, brought down by Bobby Abrams, and he's taken down at about the 32-yard line. We've got 11 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the first quarter at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Gary Wellman, perhaps the fastest man on the Southern California team, is at the top of the picture, wide out, with John Jackson, who has caught more passes than anybody else on this team, is at the bottom. And even the footballs carry commercials these days. On second down and 7, Marinovich getting some heat, steps away from it, and down he goes. And it was a shoe-top tackle by Sylvester Stanley and T.J. Osmond. There's the problem with Brent Parkinson. It's a knee. And a very bitterly disappointed young man. He has had his problems trying to stay healthy. And right now, it's not fun. Dan Barnes replaced him. Dan is a senior from Woodland Hills, California.
Barnes was the starter earlier in the year, the first couple of ball games. Parkinson came back in, played so well in the last 9 games that he earned all Pac-10 honors. It's a big disappointment to look forward to the Rose Bowl, get hurt on the first series.
Third down and 8. Marinovich again pumps it, gets some pressure, miss. Stanley can't get him. He's got all day. You can call this one a coverage sack. He threw it right into the hands of Trip Welborn, and it's an interception, Michigan. Well, he had the confidence going on those 2 passes he completed, and the whole ball may have started to unravel right there. This was not a good decision.
This is what we talked about, the redshirt freshman. The weakness of this ball club right now is Marinovich's inexperience. He should have just taken the ball and run out of bounds. There was nobody open. Welborn was right there, has made big plays all year. The All-American comes up with an interception in the first drive of the ball game. Number 3 is Welborn. Sees what he's trying to do. You're only going to gain 5 yards anyway. Just throw it into the ground or step out of bounds.
Throw it away. Throw it over everybody's heads because everybody was around him anyway. Clock stops at 10:07 to go. First quarter, Michigan getting the ball for the first time.
This voyage is for Pepsi drinkers everywhere. There's a whole nother world out there. Diet Coke. Discover the 1-calorie real cola taste worth leaving Pepsi for.
The taste of it.
One giant sip for mankind.
So the Michigan defense makes a play out of a mistake by the Southern California quarterback. The Trojans had 12 plays, 47 yards, 4 minutes and 53 seconds of time, and they turn it over. And Michigan comes out of it with very good field position. First down for the Wolverines at their own 38-yard line. Michael Taylor hands it to Leroy Horde, who was the MVP in this ball game a year ago, and he does not get much as Delmar Chesley fills the hole from the inside backer spot and takes him down. The lineup for for Michigan will be Michael Taylor, fifth-year senior at quarterback. He has had some nerve trouble in his shoulder and arm. Horde is the tailback because Tony Bowles is gone. And Jarrett Bunch, who had a big game against Ohio State in the closer, is at fullback. The offensive front is very, very big for Michigan. We'll run them down for you when we have time. Handoff is inside on second down and 9. It's a pickup of a couple of yards by Bunch. The defense for Southern California, you get Gibson back in the ball game at nose guard. He's been out most of the season, big fella, and with him going back into there, and Owens, see, you've now got the down 3 that makes Southern California's defense among the very best in the country. Those 3, Owens, Gibson, and Ryan, the backers are there. The defensive secondary is among the best in the country. Third down, and again a long 5 as Taylor goes to throw. Down the middle it goes and through the hands of the intended receiver. Incomplete, tight end Derek Walker. Well, it looked like that time, Bob, that the quarterback had plenty of zip on it.
Nothing wrong with that pass. His carrier was there to help knock the ball away, but the ball should have been caught. Walker, who came into the game with 12 receptions on the year, does not catch a lot of passes, but certainly should have caught that one.
Chris Stapleton is in to do the punting. Back to accept it for Southern California. It is Larry Wallace. Wallace is a redshirt freshman from Stockton, a wideout receiver with plenty of speed. The Michigan kicking game, at least the punting side of it, has not been steady. This one goes to the 16-yard line where Wallace takes it and comes back across the 30. A 42-yard punt, a 15-yard return, and 8:38 to go in the first quarter. Both teams have now had the football, and we have no score. Bo is the mentor. Larry Smith was an assistant coach on Schembechler's staff for 6 years. In fact, when Bo was here in '70 and had the heart attack, Cheryl and Larry Smith went back to Ann Arbor and took care of the children in the house while Bo and Millie had to stay here for the operation. First down as Marinovich goes back, swings it out, dumps it to Irvins. Irvins caught 34 balls during the season, the second receiver on the team, and he's picked up about 5 yards on that play.
This is one of the things that Southern Cal has done well all year, and that is throw to the backs and to the tight end. Easy completions to the people that are closest to you. Has sustained a lot of drives.
Second down, 4.5. Frank Griffin checks in, double tight end alignment now for Southern Cal. This is an alignment they added at the beginning of this season. They've used it a lot, which puts them to a double wide position down at the bottom of your picture. That's Bowman and Jackson together. Go the other way with Ricky Irvins. And a penalty flag is thrown. The referee, Jim Kimmeling, threw that one. That usually will get you a holding call. Sometimes a face mask. It's holding. When that umpire and that referee start throwing flags, you can almost take it to the bank.
Well, one of the things about this team Larry Smith is not proud of is the number of penalties that they have had against them this year. They were last in the Pac-10 in the number of penalties. They were the most penalized team of all the teams in the Pac-10.
We have a hole.
It looked like it was on Barnes, number 68, as you see him being pulled out of the ball game.
Parkinson laid up over there with a strained knee. Titus Tuiasosopo has now come in.
Number 68. Let's see if we can follow. I think it was a takedown. He just grabbed him. The man was running away from him. And like I said, Parkinson played early in the year and then was the sideline because Parkinson was just playing much better.
Well, the holding call backs him up inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. The play is into the middle up to about the 29 with Irvins carrying. And put Kean Ramsey in there at the guard position. Not Tuiasosopo, but Ramsey, a freshman from Independence, Oregon. That left side of the line for Southern California, offensive line, kind of beat up. Having the additional injury to Parkinson really hurts him.
Grant, number 95, just takes on the fullback Holt, stands him up and then gets a part of Irvins. But you're right, Keith, they're down to their third string guard at that quick guard spot.
They stay with the ground game, and Ricky breaks it big and has a first down, or very close to it, as he gets across the 40. They go to the right side of the line, in behind Leggett, Tucker, and Schultz, and found some daylight.
Well, you see the numbers for Ricky Irvins. 8 times this year in ball games he ran for over 100 yards. He was the Pac-10 leader in rushing.
Maybe a little short. Change coming out. That gentleman in the white sweater and the blue cap you saw, Lloyd Carr, the Michigan defensive coordinator, and he was doing a whole lot of talking because that is disturbing to see them blow a hole that big in your defensive front.
One of the things that he wanted to do was slant his line, which he does a lot, to stop the run, but also give Marinovich some new wrinkles so he can't sit back there and just pick his team apart. Michigan and Lloyd Carr does a great job of disguising their coverages. Most college quarterbacks, when they get to the line of scrimmage, can look at the secondary and know where they're going to throw the ball. You cannot do that against Michigan's defense.
A first down by the length of the football. So it's called the 41-yard line officially, and they pitch it back. Nothing fancy. It's what is famous throughout the ranks of annals of college football, student body right. Just helmet on helmet, body on body, give it to the tailback and turn on the jets. And how many times have you seen it? And how many Heisman trophies do they have sitting over in Heritage Hall because of that play?
You know, and he almost won this job, the running back job at USC, by default. They tried everybody else. They tried Scott Lockwood. They gave Aaron Emanuel a shot at it, and some other people. And Ricky Irvins, who is only 5'8" and 190, not your typical SC-looking running back, is the guy that won the job and produced.
Go to a one-back set now with a fullback Holt. Swing it out. Ball goes to Frank Griffin, who is a quick-footed tight end from Rancho Cordova, California. Big guy, 6'4", 230, and he makes the play work for another Trojan first down.
Is Griffin in motion. One of the things Southern Cal wanted to do is a lot of motion, a lot of formations to kind of force Michigan into a few different coverages so they knew exactly what they were going to be doing. That time, the little quick out to the tight end picks up some good yardage.
Griffin is the 5th different receiver to catch a ball. A little quick pop for the sidelines for Jackson. John catches and then goes down as Murray comes in a hurry. Coming up next on ABC Sports, wind up our Bowl Fest Day, the USF&G Sugar Bowl, Miami and Alabama. Miami figuring if they can lay one on the Tide, they might get a claim on #1 themselves.
Start claiming, and if Miami gets beat and Notre Dame beats Colorado, Michigan has a legitimate shot at being national champion.
Wolverines got their hands full right now on 2nd down and 6. The Trojans beginning to move the football as Irvins picks up another USC first down. Though a year ago, remember, it was all USC in the first half. 14-3 at halftime. Michigan won the game 22-14. Brent Parkinson there with his dad. So that may very well mean that Brent won't be back. His dad came down out of the stands. He is a 5th-year senior. So his college career may be done. And Dad's with it. Leroy Holt hits in with some authority and picks up about 3 yards at 5 minutes to go in the first period. No score.
Holt's an interesting story. You hear so much about the tailbacks at SC and all the Heismans that they've won. Ricky Holt has gained more yardage as a fullback at Southern Cal. Leroy Holt, I'm sorry, has gained more yardage as a fullback at Southern Cal than any other fullback in the history of the school. He has twice been named to the All Pac-10 team, and I believe that he's going to go very high in the NFL draft next spring.
I think it'd be a start.
Yeah.
Little shotgun action now on second down for SC. Marinovich goes underneath to his fullback for a first down at the Michigan 15-yard line. One of the things that everybody talked about in assessing Marinovich, Bob, was the fact that he throws that short crossing pattern so very well.
And that's a good place to start. I mean, you want to be able to hit the easy stuff, and to be able to hit that, you have to have a nice, easy, soft touch, and he has it.
He's also a big kid. He stands up 6'4", which means he has very good vision looking over the offensive line. And that whirlwind into the middle is Ricky Irvins for a couple of yards. And Bo looking on from the sidelines as Southern California is nicking away here and fighting away there and moving the football. See, Michigan's been very stingy all season in the first quarter. It's second down and 7. And I mean a good 7. As Marinovich rolls it to get a little bit of time. Now the pressure comes, but the ball is dumped off to the tight end Galbraith. And Scott, who's a 250-pounder, will get it back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll do it. 94, T.J. Osman had Marinovich in his sights and was in full stride, but just missed it.
Right, that is not the way the direction the play was designed. Galbraith was not the primary receiver. As you see, Rodriguez on the sideline limiting his leg. Was supposed to come to the right side, but the pressure diverted him to the left.
It is third down and now 8 as they go back to the shotgun again, and Marinovich getting some heat and throws it away. Throws it into the crowd because Abrams was after him and Bobby was going to get him. Here in the first quarter of play at 2:47 and the clock stopping, Southern California has had 24 plays, Michigan only 3.
And Marinovich has thrown the ball to 7 different receivers. It's what they want to do. A lot of formations. You do a lot of movement, a lot of formation. It really stabilizes the defense and allows you to pick away on the short stuff.
Wayne Rodriguez is in on 4th down and will try a field goal. The ball will be spotted from the 22 plus 10, 32 yards. It's up. He missed it. Larry Smith is wondering what in the world is going on.
Let's take a look at that last field goal attempt. Here are the 2 safeties for Michigan. 27 is Murray. He's blocked 4 placement kicks coming into the ball game. Welber, number 3, has blocked 2. There's a big concern by Southern Cal as you watch the ball. That ball looks like it just barely nipped the top of the goalpost. But Larry Smith was saying a big concern to them during the week in practice was getting some people up to simulate that great ability of theirs to block field goals and extra points.
Well, the guys down, the down people just knocked the offensive front off the ball.
Push him back.
Yeah, push him back 2 or 3 yards, and in come these 2 guys jumping. Michigan's ball, first down at the 20. This is only their 4th play of the first quarter, and Taylor goes down the middle for McMurtry. And it is overthrown, and he was double covered. So in the first quarter, 25 plays for Southern Cal and 4 for Michigan. Michael Taylor have a sore arm? Well, I asked his coach, and his coach said this.
Today he is, but you never can tell. There's, you know, he's had some nerve problem in the arm. Sometimes he's well and throws with a lot of zip. Sometimes he doesn't.
He had zip on the first pass he threw today, and that one had plenty of length on it. So it looks like it's a good day. 2nd down and 10. Little shovel to Jared Bunch, and Bunch will have a Michigan 1st down at the 31.
What Michigan needs so desperately to do is open things up, not just run on 1st down. That's why you saw that last 1st down play. The pass down the field to McMurtry. It was overthrown, but it does send a message to the other side of the field that, hey, we're going to be wide open. We're just not going to run on every 1st and 2nd down.
31-yard line. Leroy Horde steps through the middle. You won't arm tackle Horde. And you better get a shoulder on him because he will pound on you all day long. He did not start in the game January 2nd this year, but he was the MVP.
Back that game, Keith, you mentioned earlier, he gained 142 yards against Southern Cal in last year's Rose Bowl. That is the only game in the last 2 years that any opponent has rushed for over 100 yards against Southern Cal.
2nd down and 2. Horde again has the 1st down at the 44. Jackaroo.
Keith, a very discouraged field goal team for USC came off the field, and the first man that met them when they came back here was Coach Larry Smith. He gathered them around and he said, next time we'll put it through the uprights. Don't get discouraged. We're still in this one.
Well, to have 25 plays, turn it over, then have come down and miss a field goal all in the 1st quarter, you've got to be looking up to wonder if the sky's going to fall before the day's over. Taylor hands to Horde again. Leroy is one of those backs, and you've seen it many, many times. Your Simpsons, your Browns, your Taylors, it goes on down through the list. Zonkas, the more you use them, the tougher they get, and the Horde is one of those kinds.
Number 92, the top left of your screen in the white jersey, is Don Gibson. He was injured the first practice of the year for Southern Cal. Made it back for this ball game and is starting for the first time all year. He's a 2-year starter before this year. That's going to be one of the keys to that rushing defense for Southern Cal at the nose. Can he hold up and how long?
2nd down and 5. Bunch carries. And Jared Bunch will get across midfield for Michigan and down close to the Southern California 48. And you see the time running out at the end of the 1st quarter of play. So Southern California has dominated, possessed the ball literally all of the 1st quarter. But so far, nobody has scored. So after 1, it's 0-0.
The 76 Rose Bowl, brought to you by the American Express card. Membership has its privileges. And by the Chrysler Corporation, introducing our 1990 cars, minivans, and trucks.
Kind of hold your breath. He's high up, a gust of wind, and he'd be sailing off into the distance, wouldn't he? We go to the 2nd quarter of play now. Scoreless ball game. Michigan owning the ball. 3rd down. 2.5 from the Southern California 48. Michael Taylor's pass thrown into the crowd. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. I think somebody misinterpreted and McMurtry cut it off 4 or 5 yards sooner than Taylor thought he would.
And Junior Seau, the outside linebacker for the Trojans, was right in his face, forced him to throw the ball maybe before he wanted to.
Stapleton comes in. First kick today was 42 yards.
Michigan has had four punts blocked on the year. Not been an area where they've been real strong at. They feel like, though, they have improved that area, and it's sound as of this time.
Blocked. Number 90 blocked it. Dan Owens.
You can't advance a blocked kick.
Nope. Seau picked it up, took off with it.
Well, this was not a planned punt block. Look at the spacing here. You don't have that many white shirts up there. You're not trying to block it. Owens right here is just going to take an inside charge, get to the inside, and make the block on his own. They're just trying to hold everybody up. Owens, big 6'5" defensive lineman, gets in and just does it on his own. The 5th block punt this year against Michigan.
The behavior of Owens, Bob, would appear that he really didn't expect to get to it. Look what I found.
Didn't expect to get through that easy.
Yeah, right.
Well, sometimes the punt block team, when you're blocking for the punt, you line up there and you don't see everybody up the line of scrimmage. You say, oh, this is not going to be a block. They're not going to try and block it, so I'm going to relax a little bit. And you don't block as well.
Once the ball hits the ground and is possessed, you can't advance it from that point. And the ball with its ricochet wound up all the way down to inside the 20. And it's just short of actually the 11-yard line where it's finally put to rest. Play continues until it is down. When Seau picked it up, that was where it was stopped. This is Ricky Irvins running to the boundary side of the field. Not a whole lot of real estate on that side of the field. What your hope is that you can outnumber the defenders and get something out of it, and he didn't get much. Let's pause 5 seconds here for our ABC stations to identify themselves.
This is WJRT TV 12, Flint, Saginaw Bay City.
No score in the ball game. Second quarter of play, 14:36 to go in the first half. The 76th Rose Bowl game matching Southern California and Michigan. Michigan designated the home team. And it's Irvins running inside the 5 and down close to the 3. Trip Wellborn, the strong safety for Michigan, on the tackle. They can get a first down, and they're going to put this ball just at the 3-yard line, because this possession after the blocked punt gave them the ball at the 11.
You know, sometimes when you have all of these opportunities, as Southern Cal has had early in the ball game, and if you don't convert them into points, the second half, you'll never get those opportunities again. And that is exactly what happened in last year's Rose Bowl game when Southern Cal owned the first half and not the second.
USC's got 3 tight ends in there right now. Give it to Ricky Irvins, and Irvins is hit behind the line of scrimmage, but wiggles his way down to the 2. Brent White came underneath and got a little piece of it. Ask both coaches where the game will swing, and they will eventually get around to saying the kicking game, won't they?
And turnovers, and that's what a block punt is. It's a turnover. It's like an interception. It's a change of possession. Larry Smith has said that the punt is the single most important play in football. He had great teams when he was at Arizona as far as blocking punts. In fact, he had 27 punt blocks in all of his years, his 7 years while he was at Arizona. He has not been that successful at USC, but he certainly has been successful at blocking them here today.
Just short of the first down. They're going to go. Well, it's supposed to be a macho game, isn't it?
But both of these teams are big and physical. There is a lot of talent on both sides of the line of scrimmage. In fact, Keith, I think in the next 2 years, there's going to be probably 10 first-round draft choices come off of these two ball clubs this year and next year. There's that much talent.
They need the better part of a foot for the first down. 1.5 yards for the touchdown. Marinovich, the quarterback. It depends on the mark. And how do you get a mark?
You get a surveyor.
Michigan's rolling around with the ball, but the whistles had long since blown. Well, the ball is now on the ground. And the chain gang will come aboard.
You're at the mercy of the linesmen on the sides of the play. They see forward momentum. They put their foot on the ground, and that's where they're going to mark it.
He marked it with his left foot, or the foot upfield, in the direction they were going, and they got it.
Is it a game of inches?
Half inches. However, is still giving a little conversation to the mark. First and goal, Southern California, 1.5 yards. Ricky Urban did not get in there. He reached it across the goal line as Eric Anderson laid a lick on it.
Michigan has given up only 7 rushing touchdowns all season. As you look at the line of scrimmage, the surge of the defense. There's more dark blue jerseys across, and the defensive line gets the pushback, and the linebackers get across the line of scrimmage to make the hit.
Second and goal. Marinovich missed the handoff, keeps it himself, and scores the touchdown. At least it looked like he missed the handoff. Leroy Holt went by him like a bullet. Let's see what you think. Yeah, he missed the handoff.
He missed the handoff. You don't fool around when you're on the 1 foot line. Holt was just too quick for him.
The extra point is good. At 12:42 to go in the first half, we've got a score. Southern California goes to the lead 7-0.
Their shot for the national championship when they meet SEC champ Alabama. The USF&G Sugar Bowl, next on ABC Sports.
Let's go back to that last touchdown. Here is the fullback, Leroy Holt. He was supposed to carry the ball. Now watch him as he moves a little bit before the snap. He gets a little bit of a jump. That puts him too far forward. He looks back for the ball. Marinovich holds on to it, says, hey, I'll just take this in myself, but he could have been called for illegal motion.
Yeah, but nobody said a word to him. He just went on across the field like that whole thing had been planned.
That's right. That's right. It's like when you throw to 2 receivers in the same area, and if the wrong one catches it you're throwing to, you say, you never tell which one was the one you were throwing at.
Grant Runestrom will kick it off. Got a lot of leg on it. Allen Jefferson. Jefferson to the 30. Saturday, January 13, 2 great ABC Sports tradition. We'll begin first at 3 Eastern and Pacific, 3 Central, the 29th season of the Professional Bowlers Tour with a $175,000 AC Delco Classic. And ABC's Wide World of Sports will start its 30th season. The Harlem Globetrotters will be in the U.S. Virgin Islands in an area ravaged by Hurricane Hugo last September. They bring their basketball wizardry to ABC's Wide World of Sports, 4:30 Eastern and Pacific, 3:30 Central on ABC Sports, Saturday, January 13th. On first down from the 30, Michael Taylor to the sidelines. McMurtry can't get it. It's incomplete and underthrown. Junior Seau, the linebacker, 55, and Cleveland Coulter, number 8, who is one of the safeties, trying to a little fashion show today. They've got the black stockings and the black shoes and no white socks.
Coulter's got black elbow pads, black gloves. There you see it right there. If you pull up, you'll see his hands and his elbows. He's dressed in black today. And there's Seau.
Second down and 10. Jared Bunch, number 32, big strong man, but not all that fast to be running east and west against outside backers like Seau and Williams and Coulter supporting, and they take him out of bounds.
As you look at Seau, number 55, is a dominant linebacker. You know, a lot of people compare him to Lawrence Taylor. They say he's the Lawrence Taylor of college football. Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. Only started the middle of last season and really came on this year. Just an outstanding football player. He comes into this game with 18 quarterback sacks.
Loss of 2, third down and 12. That's Callaway in motion, getting on the same side with McMurtry as Taylor drops. Sets up a screen to Horde, and Horde will be dropped right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down and 12, and the Michigan offense is sputtering.
Well, they're sputtering because of the quality and the ability of the SC defense. They lead the nation in rushing defense and are number 2 defensively in the nation overall.
Stapleton is in to punt. First one was 42. Second one was blocked. That led to Southern California's touchdown. Larry Wallace is deep. No pressure at all this time, and it's a low line drive kick, giving Wallace some room. And he works his way back to about the 45-yard line. A 38-yard punt, an 11-yard return, and 11:31 to go in the first half.
It's a
That's Tournament House. Used to be a private residence. It's the headquarters of the Tournament of Roses now, not so far from the Rose Bowl. Incidentally, the Rose Bowl was built in 1922 by the association. The original cost $272,000.
How many rose bushes around the outside of the Rose Bowl?
How many? I don't have the foggiest idea.
3,500.
Is that right?
3,500 rose bushes.
Right? You got secondhand information.
So look at the play selection right there. 31 for SC to 13 for Michigan.
Marinovich on first down. Going to let it go for Gary Wellman. Incomplete, out of bounds. Todd Plate, who had the big ball game against Ohio State, defending on the play. Lance Dotton started at that corner, but Plate's in there right now. Marinovich so far in the ball game is 8 of 11 for 54 yards. He's been intercepted once and scored a touchdown.
That was a good call, Keith. As you see coming up next, the USF&G Sugar Bowl, everything he's been throwing has been short.
Yep.
They're airing it out. Let the defensive backs for Michigan know, hey, you got to think about deep also.
Second and 10. Going to throw on this entire series, apparently, and he hums that one to Larry Wallace and completes it just short of the first down, and here is Mike Adamle.
Keith, a year ago, this man was the offensive coordinator for Southern California. Now he's the head coach at Memphis State. I'm talking about Chuck Stobart. What people don't realize, though, is you spent a long, successful career under Bo Schembechler. Mixed emotions, Chuck?
Well, yes, in a lot of ways, Mike. I did spend 10 years with Bo, 2 at Miami and 8 at Michigan. And in that 8 years, we played Southern Cal twice in the bowl game. So it's kind of a great experience a year ago to be on the Southern Cal sideline playing in Michigan. But it's really mixed because this is Bo's last game. And it's a real empty spot in my heart.
Chuck, good to see you, and good luck in the future at Memphis State. I'll know you get it going.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
You just saw John Jackson make a spectacular catch. One of the best defenders in the country was right there with him. John is 5'11". Trip Wellborn is 6 feet. John giving away about 40 pounds to Wellborn, and they still made the catch.
Well, it's a great throw and catch. Marinovich moving around. Matt Skoll, the offensive coordinator, doing a nice job calling plays. Get him outside the pocket. Jackson is the all-time leading reception leader at SC and also yardage leader at SC. He makes an outstanding catch.
Marinovich with 10 completions for 70 yards now on first down. Just inside the Michigan 40, gets a little heat, dumps it off. Leroy Holt grabs it one-handed and makes a big play out of it. First down, USC inside the Michigan 27. Alex Marshall had a piece of Holt, but you don't arm tackle Leroy. Not 6 feet, 225 pounds, and a 2-legged bundle of fire.
25 catches coming into the ball game for Holt. So off to their backs. Bo Schembechler having problems on the sideline, just staying, keeping his offense on the field. It's not his defense is playing so poorly, which they're not playing that great, but his offense is not doing anything to help the defense.
Holt carries, penalty flag. There was movement along the trenches. Florida State at halftime in the Fiesta Bowl, 21-10 lead over Nebraska. Jim Kimberling. Penalties against Southern California. They moved, causing Michigan to get into the neutral zone. Southern Cal leading 7-0 as a result of a blocked punt. Got it down on the 11-yard line, and they stuck it in the end zone.
But an illegal against the offense. First down.
You know, we've got the same 2 teams in this Rose Bowl as we had last year, and it's really a little eerie how this half is going almost similar to the way the one went last year.
It looks like a replay.
Back at the 32-yard line.
5-yard penalty backs it up to near the 32, where it's first down and 15. Out of the shotgun, this is the way they started this possession, throwing the ball, and that is thrown beyond the reaching Ricky Urbans out of the backfield. So it will be second down and 15. On the Southern California touchdown, if you've just flipped over to join us, Marinovich missed the handoff to his fullback Holt from the 1-yard line and cantered it in himself.
As a comparison of the 2 quarterbacks so far, Marinovich was the high school player of the year a couple of years ago, the national high school player of the year. Very highly touted. Father, uncle, mother, sister, all went to Southern Cal.
Good protection, good pass. Scott had his hand on it and really got level and held off. Joel Scott, a 200-pound freshman from Houston, Texas.
Take a look from the other side of the field. Pressure was there. He had to let it go. Excellent throw in between 3 defenders and Trip Wellborn with the stick.
Ball was loose and fortunately came down in the right place on his tummy. Time called by Michigan, 9:13 to go in the first half. And Wolverines struggling right now. That picture coming from the Goodyear Blimp Columbia out of Carson, California, with Tom Mattis at the controls. And our Cameraman Peaches. Don Langford. Working it. So Michigan has had a conversation now about what to do with the circumstances. They didn't want Southern California sitting out there possessing the ball. That means this is a very big play on 3rd down, 9.5. They are right on the margin of Rodriguez' field goal range. So if they could wiggle off the hook here, they would feel it almost like a win of this little battle. Leroy Holt is the lone back. Marinovich underneath, short. Short hopped in front of Frank Griffin. Griffin was available. Todd couldn't get the ball to him, and now they come up on 4th down.
And it was just good coverage, good defensive coverage, motion by Larry Smith and the Trojans to try and dictate to the Wolverines what the coverage they wanted them in. They got the coverage, but Michigan played it well. Even if it would have been caught, been short of the 1st down.
Now, on this possession, they've thrown the ball every play. On the previous possession, they ran it.
And they're going for it on 4th down because it's a 4th down area. They feel like it's too far to kick the field goal.
4th and very close to 10. Down the middle into the end zone, no good. And Trent Welburn is back to knock it away. The pass intended for Larry Wallace.
Marinovich actually had a receiver out there. Welburn just makes a good play to get back there. If he'd thrown this ball a little bit further, Welburn right there is beaten. If the ball would have been thrown about 3 or 4 yards more, would have been a touchdown.
Galbraith, the tight end, was also open 15 yards down the field. But it's Michigan ball.
Top PGA and Senior Tour winners from 1989 teed up in the first event of the new year, the Money Tournament of Champions, Sunday on ABC Sports.
All right, let's see what the Wolverines can do now. They trail 7-0 at 9:01 to go in the 1st half. And the ball rests just short of their own 27-yard line. Michael Taylor is your quarterback. Gives it to Leroy Horde. And Horde steps away from Coulter and breaks it big. You don't arm tackle him. He is finally dragged down from behind at the 28-yard line by Dwayne Garner. Great run by Leroy Horde.
This is the same thing that he did last year. Great tackles, had a couple of big runs. SC contained him pretty well most of the game. There's 1 busted tackle, 2 carrier, 3 and 4. Finally, Garner brings him down after 46 yards.
Horde comes out, Jefferson in. You've got to get a deep breath after a run like that on 1st down. It is into the middle. McMurtry catches the bullet right down the heart of the highway. And he'll put him inside the 10. 1st down, goal to go Michigan at the SC8.
Gary Moeller, the offensive coordinator, calling the plays on the sideline. Got that big boost from Leroy Horde. Immediately goes to play action. McMurtry in the middle of the field. They've got momentum on their side now.
Horde, Jefferson, and Bunch will make up the wishbone set. The big man, Bunch, to about the 6-yard line. Bunch doesn't have that explosive start. He needs a step to get cranked. So the key to handling him is get him before he gets his engine running. Before this possession, the total Michigan offense was 33 yards. Now, 3 plays, they picked up 70. Taylor boards back, wants to throw, does throw beyond the end zone, incomplete. So Horde had come back after getting his breath and lobbed it up, and Walker couldn't reach it.
Anybody says that Bo Schembechler is conservative in his last game can throw that right out the window. The man right to the right of him there is Gary Moeller. If we can get there, it's Gary Moeller, the offensive coordinator and the coach of the Wolverines next year.
Actually, the minute this game is over, I guess he becomes the coach
next season.
Bunch is the lone back. You've got 3 wideouts now as McMurtry, Callaway, and Howard have all come in for Michigan. Whistles are blowing. It's an incomplete forward pass.
Well, I think the whistle blew before the play got started.
Yep, I think there is no play, is what you've got. He had 3 wideouts, Howard, McMurtry, and Callaway all over here together, and they were going to covey into the end zone, apparently, but the play was stopped. And it's a procedure call against Michigan. So that'll move the ball back if Southern California decides to accept it. But they don't have any choice. It's a dead ball call, isn't it?
I think it is. Dead ball foul. The play is repeated.
It'll be 3rd down.
We have a dead ball. Illegal procedure on the offense. There was no play. Still 3rd down.
And sometimes that can be an advantage, can't it, Buff?
Well, just right there. I mean,
well, I don't mean that. I mean, it gives you more real estate to deal with, though, and back it up 5 yards.
Yeah. The play that you had called, you end up getting sacked. The quarterback got hit from behind. Now you have a little bit more room to operate. That's true. It's not a big disadvantage to move back 5 yards when you're down around the 7 or 8 yard line. You can move just as well from 12 or 13.
Horde and Bunch are in the backfield now behind Taylor. McMurtry has come to the sidelines to get a play from Gary Moeller. And Michigan goes back into its huddle, and they have time to do that. Because he's adding time on the clock. He had not wound it, I don't think. I don't think he had officially wound it. Junior Seau, meantime, is walking around down the end zone trying to get the home folks, the Southern California folks, to make a little noise. Make it as hard as they can. Now Larry is upset.
He certainly is not upset about 3 seconds on the clock. If he's upset about anything, he thought the play should have went ahead and he wants to play. He's not upset about 3 seconds on the clock. I can guarantee you.
Now Jim's going to go over to the sideline and resolve that conversation, and sooner or later we're going to get can't run the play now, guys, because 2 officials are over there on the sideline. So just hold on a minute. Now Bo's waving his arms, and
he wants his guys to get back in the huddle so they don't show the formation ahead of time to the defense.
But they have already. They put the 3 seconds back. Instead of 7:20, it's now 7:23 to go in the first half. It is 3rd down and goal to go for Michigan. The ball is just outside the Southern California 10-yard line. Callaway and McMurtry are on the same side. Southern California had a man cross in front. The ball goes to the tight end. The ball rolling around in the end zone. Incomplete forward pass, but let's see about the penalty flag. You either had motion by Michigan or offside Southern Cal. Offside Southern Cal. So the Trojans, trying to anticipate, make a mistake.
There's a man right there at the end of the line. That's Owens. That's Ryan, 90.
We have offside on the defense. Still third down.
What Larry Smith was upset about was he did not know that previous play had been ruled dead. He did not know it was a dead ball foul. He thought the play should have counted. Once he knew that it was a dead ball foul, everything was all right.
So now they go back just inside the 6, just short of the 5, where it is still third down. This has been an adventurous third down, hasn't it? Taylor keeps it, pulls it down, and takes off short of the goal line.
Big decision here.
4th down, and it's going to be right at 2 yards, I think.
Let me tell you what Bo and Mo know. This defense of Southern Cal is #1 in the nation against the run, #2 in total defense, and 3rd in scoring defense. They only give up on the average of 11 points per game.
J.D. Carlson is on the field. Tom Rogerman, the linebacker coach. If you ever want somebody to jack up your troops, that's a guy. Boy, he can do it. He'll light their fire. J.D. Carlson's field goal try. A high snap. Ken Solom pulls it down. The kick is good. And he's 13 out of 14. This one good from 19 yards. And Michigan is finally on the board. At 6:28 to play in the first half. Here in Pasadena, where some of the floats from today's Rose Parade are parked, people can go see, and you can see a lot of people are doing just that.
A few people are still out there looking at the floats.
Yeah, well, I tell you, they're worth the trip if you got the time. J.D. Carlson now will load it up and kick it off from Tallahassee, Florida.
Travis Hanna, Calvin Holmes, and Bruce Luigi.
The white shirts are waiting for the ball. Travis Hanna is the man in the middle for Southern California. Carlson's hit it deep. And here comes Hanna. Look out! Carlson makes the tackle. Well, I'm still looking for a nickname for J.D. because J.D. sounds like chairman of the board, and he's not quite ready for that yet. He is a gamer. Let's join Mike Adamle.
Keith and Bob, the Michigan players have a keen sense that they can make history today. Last year, underneath their shoulder pads, they wore T-shirts that read, "Michigan football, just do it." Well, this year the motto is, do it again. A Wolverine victory, and they become the first Big Ten team in history to win back-to-back Rose Bowl titles. Obviously, they still have a long way to go, though.
First down for Southern California, just short of their 35-yard line. Ricky Irvins is the setback. That's Griffin, the tight end in motion. They give it to Ricky and go the other way with it. And he is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, and that's a heck of a play by number 24, Bobby Abrams. Senior from Detroit. Going back to something that we've mentioned a couple of times already, but it's a point worth making, that all of Southern California's possessions have gone deep in the Michigan side of the field, but have produced only 7 points.
And that's the type of defense Michigan has, as you see coming up at halftime. It's a bend but don't break. Give up some yardage, but not a lot of points.
Todd Marinovich on 2nd down and 12 throws to Ricky Irvins. The pickup will move it up to around the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 as Anderson and David Key make the tackle, and Brent Parkinson going to the locker room, so bitterly disappointed.
He had a brace on that knee, and hopefully that helped stabilize that knee where it won't be anything that will require surgery, but big disappointment not being able to play in this ball game.
Got his leg twisted early on as he fell down into a pileup. That's what's up. Third and 7. Marinovich's pass is good. Heck of a pass. But I think it's short of the marker. Caught by Griffin, 87, who may very well become a star next season. But that's going to be short of the first down and bring up 4th and 1. And in comes the punt team. And let's see who's doing the punting for Southern Cal. That's always a little bit of a guessing game, too. It could be Dale, it could be Preston, and they decide to go with Dale. He's the sophomore. Boulder City, Nevada. Trip Welburn, number 3, is the deep man for Michigan. The knuckleball, and Welburn's going to let it go, and that was a mistake. 5-yard line. 52-yard punt with the roll. The Honda Scholar Athletes of the Year, brought to you by American Honda, proud to support amateur athletics. This year's Pac-10 award goes to John Jackson, senior flanker, USC. The Big Ten Scholar Athlete of the Year, Don Davey, academic senior, defensive end, University of Wisconsin. Honda will present a check for $2,000 to the general scholarship funds of the University of Southern California and the University of Wisconsin. From the 5-yard line, first down. And Randy Horde is now in for Gibson along the defensive front for Southern Cal. Michael Taylor to Leroy Horde out of the end zone, and here it comes. First down, out across the 15 to the 17. And Ernest Spears finally got him down.
Trap inside. Owens, number 90, is over the nose. That's Elliott, 69, and Digman, 78, that cleared the way. Doring, 73, had pulled to give a little bit of a hole there for Leroy Horde.
So first down in the Wolverines with 3:40 on the clock to work with, trailing 7-3. Taylor back, gets it away for McMurtry. No, incomplete. Defending was Dwayne Garner. McMurtry's had some daylight between him and the defender out there on 2 or 3 different occasions, but each time the ball has not been on target.
Well, that time it was one-on-one coverage, but the ball was thrown too far up the field. If he would have went down 20 yards and broke straight to the sideline or come back for it, and the ball had been thrown there, it would have been an easy completion, but the ball was thrown too far up the field.
Numbers on Taylor so far. Second and 10. Horde to the 25. Be a yard and a half or so short of the first down. Horde now on 7 carries has 85 yards.
He's a patient runner too, Keith. He doesn't rush to get to the hole. He gives the offensive line some time to get their blocks and let things happen in front of him.
He's from New Orleans, where they'll play the USF&G Sugar Bowl tonight, coming up after the Rose Bowl game.
Horde is knows all about that famous legendary doghouse that Schembechler has had at Michigan. I think he spent more time in there than any other player on this team this year.
Hadn't bothered him yet either. Third down and 2. Going for the first down and will not get it. Somebody got some leverage on him and really pinned him down, and that somebody, I think, was Mr. Williams. Yep, it was 99 Tim Ryan and 54 Michael Williams.
Southern Cal has 3 players on that defense that lead the Pac-10 in most sacks. Ryan has 19, Sehow has 18, and Owens has 12. They really get after it defensively.
So now the Wolverines have got to kick it away. It is 4th down and 1. Stapleton is in. He's had a 42-yarder, a block, and 38 yards. Larry Wallace drops back. If he handles it well, he should get pretty good field position as the clock runs at 1:50 to go in the first half. Oh, they almost got it again. It's a very low kick, and it is mishandled back there. Calvin Holmes steps in front of Wallace. and makes the catch and comes back across the 45 to the 46. There's a penalty flag on the field. The key play so far in this first half of play has been this block punt by Southern California. Number 90 goes in and gets a piece of it. That would be Dan Owen, and he wandered in so easily I think he was almost startled. Now you can advance a punt. You pick it up and you can move it, but once you're down you can't advance it anymore, and there was a fumble at the end of this and that effectively stopped it. You had a clip call against Southern California for that penalty flag, and here is another angle of the block which led to Southern California's touchdown. So now the Trojans with 1:37 to play in the first half. After that clipping penalty, will possess the ball at their own 26. Ricky Irvins got a little leverage on the corner for about 3-yard pickup.
Watch the team.
Here's a first half possession. It's a touchdown. They got possession inside their own 20-yard line. Did SC. Had 5 possessions and 1 score.
That MFG, that does not mean manufacturing. That means missed field goal. Second down and 7. Comes Ricky Irvins. Around the corner he goes. First down, Trojans. Ricky went to Muir High School here in Pasadena, right up on the hill from the Rose Bowl. Lived just with a stone's throw from here. And he used to park cars over here at the Rose Bowl, picked up a little walking around money when he was growing up. We'll have both bands for you at halftime. The day grows more gray as we move along with the forecast of rain in some areas of Southern California this evening. We should, however, be able to get the game in without any wet. From the 42 on first down, Marinovich throws sideline, pass good to Scott. Scott, instead of going out of bounds, tried to turn it back into the field, and will cost his team some time. He was on the sidelines. All he had to do is take 1 step and stop the clock, but he didn't do it. Now you've got 1:05 to play. Second down and 2. Marinovich again goes underneath. Ricky Irvins. Irvins moving around. Got away from Eric Anderson and picks up another Trojan first down at the 35, and he did get to the sideline. So that's 56 seconds on the clock, and SC trying to work its way downfield, at least to give Rodriguez an opportunity. And the Trojans have all 3 timeouts remaining as Marinovich goes over 100 yards. Out of bounds, Irvins. Nibbling away. They use 5 seconds for that play.
Passes to the backs, out of the backfield. They are really outlets. They just go down about 5 yards downfield and turn around. Marinovich looks downfield. If nothing is there, drops it off, and he has effectively moved his ball club 35 or 40 yards, just taking the backs out of the backfield.
Second down, 4. He steps away from pursuit and takes off. And big play for Todd Marinovich all the way to the 7-yard line. Otis Williams finally brought him down. And the chains are being moved. The clock stops at 41 seconds.
Take a look here. They went man-to-man this time, and there's going to be nobody in the middle of the field for Marinovich. Change up the defense. You don't go zone. One of the problems is nobody in the middle of the field. That allows the quarterback to get up and run.
Looped into the corner of the end zone, intended for Scott, no good. Double coverage over there on him. He couldn't even get anywhere near the ball. So that'll be 2nd down and goal from the 7th with 32 seconds. And Southern California still with 3 timeouts. So they've got a lot of timeouts to work with. And Bo hasn't said much to anybody lately. He's
kind of calm. I think he's got this half figured out. He's just waiting for halftime. He gets in there and fires them up. That was a great. We showed that 1971 pregame speech of his. We got big goals. We got big. He fired me up. Well, I was ready to come out.
Key is out at cornerback for Michigan, and Dwayne Ware has come in. The last game for Glenn E. Schembechler. 2nd down and goal for the Trojans. Irvin to the 3, and now they'll call a timeout. And that'll stop it at 27 seconds. They're wrestling over the ball down the bottom, but the whistle sounded a good long time ago. The play has been dead for some few seconds.
Timeout USC.
Miami and Alabama will go at it, and the USF&G Sugar Bowl. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Deardorff are down in New Orleans. I'll call that one for you. Gary Bender and Dick Vermeil and Cheryl Miller covered the Citrus earlier today. And Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Jack Arute, and Michael Adamley are here at the Rose Bowl.
You know, you talk about these two defenses and how good they are. You watch that Miami defense. I think that Miami defense, what makes that Miami defense is the front four. That front four is the best in the nation this year, unquestionably, and maybe the best. They've had some articles about maybe the best of all time in college football.
Illinois defeated Virginia by 10 today in the Florida Citrus Bowl, seen here on ABC Sports. Tennessee defeated Arkansas. Johnny Majors capped off a wonderful season. Great comeback. Auburn defeating Ohio State. And there's a story out of the Hall of Fame Bowl coverage that Barry Alvarez is going to take or has been offered the Wisconsin job. Steve Spurrier has gone to Florida from Duke.
Barry Alvarez, the defensive coordinator for the Fighting Irish.
Pecking away at Lou Holtz's staff, aren't they?
2 have already gone.
3rd down and goal. He is back now at quarterback for Michigan. 27 seconds remaining in the first half. Marinovich throws it. No good. Penalty flag. Wellman was the intended receiver. Zeta Murray came over the top and may have made some contact on the way.
This play started out as a pick. The 2 outside receivers coming to the inside. The back goes to the outside. Once that's over with, then Wellman comes back to him. That's pretty good play right there. Pretty good play. May have called him for his right hand on the back, but put your hand on the back as long as you don't shove him or affect his chance to catch the football.
It's a split crew.
We have a hold before the ball is thrown against the defense. First down.
Well, it couldn't have been Murray. Couldn't have been against Murray then before the ball was thrown because he wasn't anywhere near it.
Well, they didn't call that. I'm glad to hear that. That was a good defensive play by Murray. The call was defensive holding before that, and we didn't see it.
All right, half the distance. We'll move it down just inside the 2 where it is 1st and goal for Southern California. Time is now the important thing for him. Marinovich back to throw it. Throws it away.
That'll be a flag.
Yeah, they leveled him. Out of bounds.
I mean, as a quarterback. You know.
He called grounding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to have a receiver in the area. Here's the reaction of the coaches. There was no receiver in the area that he threw that ball to. and Bo wants Bo wants to be heard. And Larry is saying, there's a receiver right there, see? That is a crucial penalty. We talked about the quarterbacks being the big play people, maybe the weakness coming into this ball game. That is another big crucial mistake for Marinovich. If he would have thrown that ball out of the back of the end zone, there would have been no flag. Now you move him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
It's a 17-yard penalty is what it winds up. And with it goes the loss of down, of course, on intentional grounding. And you're down now to 14 seconds. Trojans with 2 timeouts remaining.
Big play there.
You got Jackson and Wellman on the same side. You got pressure on Marinovich. He steps away from it. He throws it back the other way. It is to Griffin, and Griffin falls down. Wellman has thrown a block over there to give him a little room, and so has Jackson, and Griffin trying to cut back. The daylight falls down.
We know he is upset that he fell down, but it's a good thing that he did. There's 3 seconds on the clock. If he would have stayed on his feet, continued to run, the half would have run out.
Probably would have missed what amounts to a field goal opportunity for Rodriguez.
Right. Watch to the top of your screen. Now the receiver is going to come from the bottom, is going to go way up to the top. Now he's got plenty of running room, but he falls down. If he would have kept running, he would have used up the 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Now they got a chance at a field goal.
And it will be from 34 yards. Missed from 32 earlier.
34-yard field goal attempt by Rodriguez.
Jackson puts it down. It's good. And the half is over. A year ago, it was 14-3 at halftime. Or at least January 2nd. This game, it is 10-3 at halftime.
Smith knows that both Murray and Welburn can get up there and block field goals. He's happy to get out of there with 3 points.
And so it's 10-3 Southern California, back with our halftime activities from the 76th Rose Bowl game after this message and a word from our ABC station. Halftime at the Rose Bowl, wishing upon a star. Bob Greasy's favorite pastime. Some of the highlights from the first half of play will include a field goal that was missed by Quinn Rodriguez in Southern California's first attempt to get on from 32 yards, ever so close. But part of the story here are numbers 3 and 27.
Larry Smith told us that they worked in practice by boosting some defensive backs up on the shoulders of some defensive linemen to try and give a good picture of what it would be like trying to kick over those 2 defensive backs.
Welburn and Murray, the safeties. Now the block punt. Watch from the right side. Number 90, Dan Owens, come in to block Chris Stapleton's punt.
This is the 5th punt that the Wolverines have had blocked this year. And as we mentioned, Larry Smith is always big on special teams. He coaches them himself. Feels like the punt is the single biggest play in a ball game, and this got them down where they scored their first touchdown.
And the touchdown resulted in Todd Marinovich missing connection with his fullback Leroy Holt, and then taking the ball himself and going into the end zone.
Holt got a little bit of a head start, therefore was past Marinovich by the time he had spun around. Marinovich does what any smart quarterback will do, and that is get it into the end zone.
So that's where we are at halftime with 10-3, Southern California leading. All right. Teams have come from the locker room. We're just moments away from having the second half kickoff, but it's kind of fun for me to spend a moment with a gentleman that I've known a long time, since the 40s, middle 40s. I knew him then as Captain John Glenn. Now we know him as Senator from Ohio, the Grand Marshal. You having a good time?
Okay, just having a great time. Couldn't have been better. Had perfect weather today. Getting a little cool now that evening's coming on, but it was just a great day and a wonderful parade, and they had a perfect record. And I think Don Fetty's theme this year of a world of harmony was just ideal for this situation, all that's happened this year.
They do wear you out, don't they? You put in a full day with these folks.
Oh, you put in a full day. We put in about 4 or 5 of them in a row here, but it's great and a lot of very wonderful people, and we've been welcomed as part of this tournament team for this year, and it's great.
Good football game.
Yeah, it is. You know, what's going to happen in the second half here?
Senator, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks very much, Don. Great job. Now let's go to Mike Adamle.
Keith, I don't think you're going to see any real significant adjustments on the part of the Wolverines. The word out of the Michigan locker room is that they quite frankly have played one of the worst first halves of football as they have all season long, and yet they're still in the football game. I think you could see a repeat of what happened in last year's Rose Bowl game. Expect to see Leroy Horde carry the football an awful lot. The amazing thing about Coach Bo Schembechler, you would never get the feeling that this is his final game. Before the game in the locker room, there was no emotional speeches, no tears, just vintage Bo, short and to the point. Now for the USC story, let's go over to Jack Arute.
Well, Mike, they were real animated in their locker room during halftime. They wanted to remind everybody of what happened in the second half last year. But Coach Larry Smith also told them, quite animatedly, that they should keep it up because they've got a Rose Bowl victory within their grasp. The last man out, though, out of the locker room and through the tunnel was the quarterback, Todd Marinovich. He was about 2 minutes later than the rest of the team.
All right, guys, thanks much. And here we go with the third quarter of play as Michigan will get the first possession. The kick is very, very short. Leggett picks it up and brings it back, a reserve fullback to the 30-yard line. And that's where the Michigan Wolverines will have the ball.
Here are the first half stats. SC leading 10-3. Total plays is doubled. The total yardage has doubled in favor of Southern Cal, and the time of possession is doubled. SC dominates the first half.
Well, let's see now whether or not they come out with something new, something we have not seen so far in the ball game. Checking over the starting units, they look the same, with Taylor at quarterback, Horde and Bunch lined up behind him. The wideouts are McMurtry and Callaway. Walker is your tight end in motion, and Horde has the ball. And Horde is hit short of the line of scrimmage. And I mean, belted.
The offensive leaders for Michigan, Taylor, his stats aren't impressive. Horde has 86 yards in the first half on 8 carries, and the receptions you see there, Carlson has the field goal.
Scott Ross and Delmar Chesley were the two defenders that just hit Horde. As you look at the fact Chesley leads the defensive people in tackle. Just added another one, or half of one. Taylor passes away, pass is thrown deep for McMurtry, and Garner defending incomplete. Well, Taylor threw that ball about 45, almost 50 yards.
He threw it a long way, but the man was well covered. Garner was right there running with McMurtry, and in fact, he overthrew him. He didn't have a chance to catch it. If he would have thrown a little shorter, McMurtry may have had a chance to go up and make a play on it. You know, Mike Adamle told us coming out of the locker room that Schembechler told his troops that it was the worst half of football they've played this year. Probably the worst half they played since this game last year.
Yep. Third down, 11. Bunt, the lone back. You got 3 wideouts. Pressure's coming on Taylor. He takes off. Got his first down. Taken down at the 46-yard line.
And there you are seeing Michael Taylor at his best. He is not a great, pure drop-back passer. He cannot sit back there and throw stuff all day. He is good at dropping back, running the quarterback draw, scrambling around or running the option, and putting his team into the right running play by checking off at the line of scrimmage. He is an academic All-American high school player. He is very intelligent, and he is best when he's got the run and the pass working.
That was only his second run of the day.
Yeah, he needs to do that some more.
And Horde runs into Messrs. Ryan Gibson and company. That normally means a quick stop. Pickup is a yard.
Ryan is a 2-time All-American. Consensus this year, made All-American last year. He's a 4-year starter.
Scott Ross, who was dinged up all season long, as we noted, starting at the inside linebacker position. And having him in there frees up Junior Seau to be even more devastating, actually.
This is just an outstanding defensive team. They've got several players on this defense right now. They're going to be top draft choices in the NFL.
Michael Taylor has something he doesn't like, and he calls a timeout. It's the inside of the control truck. Our TD Gary Larkins to the left, Director Larry Cam in the middle. That big dude on the right, that's Bob Goodrich, former tight end for Hayden Fry at SMU. They'll do anything to get a little pub.
They got a few pictures to choose from down there, don't they?
They sure do. Second down, and call it 8.5 to 9. Taylor better go. Pressure's coming. Down he goes, back on the 40, and it's Ryan. You could see that Ryan had shucked the blocker and was coming. And Taylor didn't sense it, didn't feel him.
Taylor had plenty of time. This is a coverage sack. 99 is Ryan. I mean, that's 9. That's Owens at the top, but Ryan, number 99. Plenty of time to throw the football. Coverage is good downfield. Ryan came in with 19 sacks. That's a new USC record. Of course, he's got 20 now.
Loss is 6 yards back to the 40. And it's 3rd and long.
Ryan was a 5-time junior Olympic boxing champ when he was growing up.
Seau was the man that got way across the line of scrimmage, but the question always hangs here, did somebody move and tease him?
Guard moved. I think it was Dingman that moved.
You know, we haven't called Dingman's name all day. Has he been pulling out? He hasn't made it.
False start on the offense.
Dingman right there in the middle, number 78.
Yeah, he's starting to pull. That was a pulling play right there, looked like. At least he was dropping back to pass block, but I haven't noticed him being terribly involved up front. Because normally you see him out leading some sweeps. Well, he shook one off. Gets away from another, but that'll stop him. Whoa. Guarantee you, that's Scott Ross, 35. It came up and really hit Michael Taylor. You know what Michael does? He goes over and pats him on the back.
Hey, if you're a linebacker, you love a hit like this. I mean, you live to get in the open field and hit a quarterback as well as Ross hits Taylor right here. Of course, Taylor's got another problem right there, and he knows he can't go to his left. That's out of bounds. But
that's where they'll put it, too, back there where he did step out of bounds. And it brings up 4th down, and Stapleton is in the punt. This is his 4th of the day. They're showing that they want to go after him, and they do, and he gets some spin on this one. It's over Wallace's shoulder. He goes back, and look at that. That's a dandy 7-iron. Snuggled it right up to the pin and killed it. Boom. 53-yard punt and no return, and Southern California will have it at their own 8-yard line.
Number 2, Miami takes their shot for the national championship when they meet SEC champ Alabama. The USF&G Sugar Bowl, next on ABC Sports.
The Goodyear blimp was first involved in telecasting a bowl game back in 1962, the Orange Bowl. This one is the Columbia. This blimp is out of Carson with Tom Metz, the pilot. There it hangs, ever so gently. All right, the Trojans will have it at the 8. First down, they lead 10-3. Heat's on the Michigan defense now to try to keep them pinned in there, and they certainly do on that play, as Irvins is upended in a hurry by Bobby Abrams, who's having a big ball game.
What Michigan needs to do here is stop USC 3 and out defensively. Offensively for Michigan the second half, they need to keep their offense on the field so they can protect their defense a little bit. SC has run 51 plays in the first half to 22 for Michigan. Michigan, on the other hand, just needs to come out and keep control of the ball game.
Handed off to Holt. Holt's hunted down by Alex Marshall. Alex had the first contact on him. And J.J. Grant down in the middle got a piece of him.
The offensive leaders for Southern Cal the first half. Marinovich has moved his club well. Urbans leads with 75 yards and also leads in receptions. Defensive leaders for Michigan. Murray, the free safety, leads with 8 tackles.
On third down and a long 7. Urbans back into the lineup. And he's brought down by number 95, J.J. Grant, and the Trojans are going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. So the defense does its job for Michigan.
Well, Larry Smith said that Michigan is going to force you to beat them. They're very sound. Everything they do it well. They force you to take chances, and that is not an area of the field where you want to take chances offensively.
Ron Dale had a 52-yarder, but he had a lot of roll his first time. He should hit it around the 5-yard line. A low kick, not much on it, and it takes a Michigan bounce. Rolls around and rolls dead. And there's a penalty flag. Back just at the 19-yard line. And that's a 31-yard punt. Push in the back, is that what Jim said?
Well, the foul occurred way away from the play.
Holding. And it's against Michigan. So the Wolverines get a bad kick, a very terribly ordinary kick out of Dale. They own the ball around the 46, 47, 41, 42-yard line, wherever they eventually would put
We have
it.
a hold against the receiver with a post scrimmage kick ball. First down.
So that backs them up an additional 10 yards, and they'll put it down at the 44-yard line.
Mom and Dad.
Tony Bowles, who's laid up with a knee injury. Somebody breaking the rules there, going in to talk to him. You can't do that. But Tony is going to have knee surgery and is going to have a real tough time coming back. Here's a guy who's had a tough time coming back, Pat O'Hara, who was literally the starting quarterback prior to the season, and he busted a knee really badly. Leroy Horde carries, and the Southern California defense now is swarming with fury. And he loses 3 yards on the play. Scott Ross and Tim Ryan leading the defensive charge.
Chris Allen is the defensive coordinator for the Trojans, and he is mixing it up. He said sometimes they're going to have 8 or 9 men on the line of scrimmage responsible for the run. We want to stop the run and force Taylor to throw the football. The SC staff in the press box.
Second down and 13 for Michigan. Taylor back, steps up and gets it down the middle, complete to Chris Callaway. And a first down just short of the Southern California 40-yard line.
Michigan is blessed with fine outside receivers. Callaway, number 2, is going to run a square and come off the line of scrimmage, break to our left, to his right, to the inside, just a square in pattern. Both Callaway and McMurtry, outstanding receivers.
Ford. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Sayal and company. 55 and 53, 53 being Delmar Chesley. He didn't get back. Lost at least a half a yard.
Chesley 53 there. There's somewhere 7 brothers and sisters who attended Division I schools on athletic scholarships.
Wishbone. Second down, 11. They fake the option, pack it in the middle. Southern California's claiming the ball came loose, but there was a lot of rolling around before the ball came loose, and so it'll stay right there. There is, however, a bit of a loss on that play. Right now, the Southern California defense owns this ball game, don't they?
No question about it. They have dominated this ball game, stopping Michigan's run, except for a couple of runs early in the second quarter when Horde broke loose for that 46-yard run that set up their field goal. They have really not controlled the ball at all in this ball game.
Leroy Horde is the lone back now. No, I'm sorry, it's bunt. As they go to the 3 wideouts, Taylor, a little quick one, gets it away to Callaway. Got by Coulter, gets a first down. Cleveland Coulter has not had a big day in the defensive secondary. They've been juking him and getting past him a lot, and they did there.
Short pass that picks up the first down. Cleveland Coulter, number 8, as you see right there, was an All-American last year, had knee surgery in the spring, and some people feel like he has really not returned to that form that he had in 1988. Didn't look like there he had really control of his body either.
Ball is at the 27, where it's first down for the Wolverines. 10-3, they only trail by a touchdown. This is Horde. Oh, there are 5 Trojans out there. And Leroy loses.
Well, they're just jumping around defensively. They're just messing up all the blocking assignments. They're messing up. Take a look at the that's Owens, number 90, that jumps inside, and Schembechler, number 75, gets knocked off his route. They're just into the backfield between the creases of the offensive line, messing up the blocking assignments. Schembechler, number 75, you know, sometimes when everybody's jumping around, it's best just to go straight at him.
Who's working that thing?
Second down. Little draw action. Horde breaks it. Look at that move. That's big. Dives for the corner. Is out of bounds at the 2-yard line. First and goal, Michigan, no flag.
Take a look here. Here's Sayal. He's going to run himself out of it. Watch the block here, because Horde is going to follow him right through the hole on the left side of the screen. Ross runs around the block. Coulter can't make the block. And Horde makes another big play for Michigan.
Ball is just inside the 2. First and goal. Bunch. Didn't get there. Horde now with 107 yards. He is the first one to run for 100. Well, he did do it last year. He did it January 2nd, so he's done it twice this year.
This year, yeah. But in 2 seasons, he is the only man, and he's done it twice.
Yep. Diebold comes in. Walker comes out. Change for the Wolverines at tight end.
Defensively, only 5 rushing touchdowns. And only against 2 teams. Notre Dame got 4, and Arizona got 1.
They go to Horde, and Horde goes down at the line of scrimmage. And the man who made that play is number 54, Michael Williams.
Williams is on the outside, number 54. He gets upfield, gets inside of Jefferson, I believe it is. they don't get back to the line of scrimmage. That's just aggressive defense. When teams are playing that aggressive defensively on the goal line, you have to throw on first or second down.
It is third down and goal from outside the 2 now.
Now the defense will not be as aggressive. They're looking pass first.
They go to Jefferson, and he scores. Touchdown, Michigan. Chance to tie the score at 10. J.D. Carlson is at the ready. The hammer cocked. The holder, Ken Solomon, comes from up the road to high desert country. And the kick is good. 4:05 to go in the third quarter, and we're all even at 10. Alan Jefferson, who scored the touchdown for the Wolverines right there, finally getting a very painful calcium spur out of his leg.
He's a favorite of Bo because of that. He had a stress fracture in his leg. It was so painful. He finally had surgery. The surgery came back, was practicing. He still had pain, and that's when the calcium deposit formed. And when Bo found that out, he says, I don't know how you even practice with that size of a golf ball.
This time, Carlson doesn't really get it. He hit it high in the air, and it's fielded by Hanna at the 15-yard line, and he comes back to about the 24. And they do a little paint swapping down there in the tackle. In this second half of play, Michigan has 16 plays to 3 for Southern California. So this whole thing's turned around.
Exactly what Michigan needed to do to protect their defense. Offensively, stay on the field. Take a look from behind the defense. 32 is Bunch. He weighs 240, like an offensive guard out there. Ross gets there, but not in time as Jefferson gets into the end zone.
Yeah, Bunch took Carrier down, who was the key man on that play. All right, the Trojans ball, first down at their 24. On first down to throw it, and he's got his man, Jackson. And he's going to have his first down, it appears. Tomorrow, a Happy New Year with Who's the Boss, The Wonder Years, Roseanne Coach, and 30-something. All new episodes, brand new year, tomorrow, here on ABC. Trojans now getting a little daylight behind them, up to the 36. Pick up of 12. And Marinovich gives it inside to Leroy Holt, the fullback. He got about 5 yards.
No, this is exactly the type of game that we expected. Defensive struggle, sound both ways, nothing easy. Here's Marshall, 59, slides back to the inside. There are so many good players on these teams. The flashy ones, like Marshall, doesn't get a lot of the credit, but certainly is a fine football player.
Holt. Oh, picked his way through there nicely and picked up a first down. Up to the 49-yard line. Florida State jumping all over Nebraska. Well, there's a team there that lost 2 games to start the season. Maybe as good as anybody.
You talk about national championships. You're right. They lost 2 games early in the year.
Yep.
Who do you vote for a national championship? You vote the team that's best at the end of the year, or the team that did the best throughout the year? I couldn't vote for a team with 2 losses. I'm sorry. Much as I like Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles.
Ricky Urbans on first down will have 4. And so Southern California now going back to the muscle game and banging away and moving it. Time remaining in the third quarter, 2:40. Lights are on. Didn't get a chance to look around the countryside today. We had that ocean haze blow in about mid-morning and closed off the view of the San Gabriel Mountains. Haven't seen them all day. Marinovich on an option. Pitches it out to Irvin. Irvin just got some room, loses on the cutback. You know why he lost his footing there? I'll tell you why. Because he's not wearing cleats. You use that artificial turf shoe, and you just cannot plant and cut like you can if you've got cleats on.
I'll tell you what, when these college players move up a level to the pro level and they play on grass, the pro coaches go right through the ceiling when they get out there and they slip in a run like that. They get those longer cleats on real quick.
He had another 8, 9, 10 yards. He makes the cut. On first down from the 38, Irvin's the other way. And again, 4 yards. 4.5. Maybe 5. That's a lot of yardage to be getting consistently on first down. And Bo is talking about it.
You know, Schembechler in his 27 seasons has never had a losing season, which is just amazing to me. 21 at Michigan, 27. You talk about his years at Miami of Ohio.
Second down and 5. Running it, Irvin's again. This time, Marshall gets him by the coattail and stops him at the 34, and that's a loss of a yard.
Marshall says, I can handle these wide receivers blocking on me. Just gets out there and gets some shirt and brings him down. Michigan only loses 3 starters off of this defense. Marshall just a sophomore. He'll be back for 2 more years.
3rd and 6. Albrecht, the tight end, is in motion. Marinovich gives up some ground to get some room. And now he'll go down on a sack, running out of the real estate and taken down at the 43 by Trip Wellborn and Otis Williams. And so the sun.
That's that rabbit over the hill.
But the Archers and Williams Hell are not here. It's 10-10 after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back with more action from the 76 Rose Bowl game after this message and a word from our ABC station. Southern California will have to give up the football now on 4th down and 15, and Mark Preston is in there. He's a pretty good pooch kicker. Going to try to kill it deep, knock it down in the corner somewhere. He's done it 11 times this year inside the 20. He gets it very high, puts a lot of spin on it, and forces the fair catch at the 14-yard line. That's exactly why he was in the ball game, and we've used 7 seconds with that play. In the 75th Rose Bowl game last January 2nd, the MVP was a running back who did not start. Number 33, Leroy Horde, scored 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, gained 142 yards, was a principal performer in Michigan's 22-14 win over Southern California. Horde was the only running back to rush for 100 yards against Southern California's defense last season, and he sure picked the right time and place to do it. Not having a bad day today either. All right, Michigan will put it in play from their own 14. And Horde is the deep man out of that I formation. He now goes in motion, and they give it a Garrett Bunt, and he isn't going anywhere.
Of a yard, stopped by Tim Ryan.
99 Ryan's going to be underneath him and credited with the tackle. Second down and 9. The ball at the 15. Ten tie between Southern California and Michigan. Taylor back. Screen pass. Leroy Horde. And stop at the 20-yard line.
Taylor's pass complete to Leroy Horde.
Here's a look at the third quarter stats. SC still dominating, but the third quarter alone, Michigan caught up a little bit. Time of possession not nearly as much in favor. Total yardage still very much on USC's side. The big thing in that quarter is Michigan scored 7 points to tie the ball game. SC was shut out.
Cleveland Coulter's going to have to leave the ball game. He's hurt. And Marcus Hopkins will replace him. I think he's hurt a hand or maybe a shoulder. Third down and 4 for Michigan. Taylor takes off, got his first down. Gets the ball to the 31-yard line.
Quarterback draw.
And you got another Trojan hurt. Is that Carrier?
Could be Carrier. He's the man that made the tackle.
That's him. And he may have taken the blow on his right shoulder. Taylor, he hit Taylor right about the right knee, and he has not recovered from it. 13-19 to go in the ball game. It's 10-10 and timeout for Mark Carrier. Looked like Mark Carrier might have had a stinger, but they're gonna go check him, give him a little smelling salts there. Cleveland Coulter, who had a spasm, he's back in. And it's first down Michigan from the 31 as Taylor throws to the sidelines. McMurtry wheels it in, and first down Wolverines at the 45. Wayne Garner brought him down. And there was no secondary defense behind Garner. If Wayne doesn't get McMurtry, see you later.
That's why the out was there. He ran him off, ran him deep, about 15, 20 yards, and then broke to the sideline. And it was like pitch and catch. Michael Taylor is good at running the option, running the quarterback draw, which he just did. Take a look at Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, trying to get something going to stop the SC running game.
Taylor's hit 4 in a row for 52 yards, and first down Wolverines. Handed off, nothing. Loss on the play. Ryan penetrating, got Horde, and Sayal, he came.
Top of your screen, that's 55 Sayal. He's got the penetration to turn him back inside. That's just playing aggressive defense on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage.
Loss of 2, second down and 12. Ball resting at the Michigan 43, and it's even 10-10. Again. 46-yard line. Ryan had a piece of that again with Coulter and Owens.
You know, Leroy Horde, we were talking about him early in the ball game. He's been in the doghouse a little bit. You know, his mother was at campus a while back and noticed that he had a lot of keys on his keychains. And what are all those keys for? He said, well, this is for my dorm, this is for my locker, this is for my mailbox. He said, this is for Bo's doghouse. He spends so much time in there. He said, I got my own key, but now that Bo's leaving, he says, I guess I won't need it.
Taylor to throw it. Pass is good to McMurtry, but that is short of the first down. It'll be 4th down and about 3, and Garner defending. They're trying to put McMurtry over there on Garner. Greg's a little bit bigger. But so far, he hasn't shown that he can outrun him.
You know, they didn't pick up the first down, Keith, and it looks as though they're going to punt it away. But it was a key drive. They started on their own 14-yard line, and they moved the ball out just about to the 50, a little bit past the 50. If everything goes well, they'll turn it over to SC down in their end of the territory. You want to play field position at this end of the stage of the ball game.
Well, they almost blocked it again. And they're going to mark it where? At the 8. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Big series for Michigan.
41-yard punt. And knocked out of bounds at the SC 8.
One of the things the Michigan players won't miss when Bo leaves after this game is his yardsticks. He carries these 3-foot rulers at practice with him to measure line splits, among other things. When he doesn't like what he sees, the player involved gets a fatherly whack in the back of the leg and a message he doesn't forget. Bo considered it a good day at the office if he broke 3 rulers. Usually goes through about 2 dozen a year. Don't know if Gary Moeller will carry on that tradition, though.
I think Leroy might be one of those that hope not. That play goes into the stack, and it'll be worth a couple of yards for Holt, the fullback, and that'll do that for that. But only 1 turnover so far today, so they haven't mishandled the ball a great deal. We've had some interceptions. The little lob that Marinovich had intercepted didn't have a thing on it. Just was a poor decision by Todd.
Smith has done an outstanding job since he came to SC 3 years ago. 3 Pac-10 titles. Coach of the Year 2 times.
Marinovich gives it away to Irvins and trying to leverage the corner. Can't do it. J.J. Grant.
On to the 9-yard line.
J.J. Grant, 95, slides to his right. Plays off the blocker. Linebackers are supposed to. The leader of this ball club, injured a little bit, had knee surgery last year, came back this year, hurt it again, missed a couple of ball games. But we talked about the inspirational leader for Michigan, that man right there.
Now it is on the 14 where it's 3rd down and 4. Out of the shotgun. The left-hander is in trouble. Runs away from it. Dives for the marker, and he's going to be short. He's going to be short. It was J.J. Grant spinning his body to turn him in. T.J. Osman was the man that had a hand on him and couldn't get him. 95 turned him back into traffic, and they stop him a yard short. So they'll have to punt it. Time remaining, 8 minutes, 35 seconds. Rondale back to punt. And a 10-10 tie. Trip Wilburn standing at midfield. Beauty of the punt. Wilburn runs all the way back to the 37 to take it. Nice play downfield. Very good coverage. And you know who did it? Junior Seau, 55. Captain Tom Mattis on the left. Bob Rosedale on the right, and that one closest to the camera, acting funny, is Peaches. Todd Langford. The Goodyear Blimp Columbia out of Carl's, California. 65th year that Goodyear Blimps have flown over sporting events about the nation. Michael Taylor back on 1st down from the 38. Penalty flag goes down. And that flag was thrown maybe by the umpire and thrown quite a ways. The play went to the far sideline and not much on it, but let's see about this Yellow flag.
Take a look at the protection. First down passing.
Hold on the offense. First down.
I think that's Elliott, number 69 on 90, Owens, pushing him past there. He looked like he had a fistful of jerseys, but it looked like what it was.
You know, the last time we had a tie in the Rose Bowl, Bob? 1927.
Is that right?
You know who the coaches were? It was between Alabama and Stanford. It was 7-7. It was Wallace Wade and Pop Warner.
Is that right?
Long time.
Sure would have known that one.
10-10 tie, 8:13 to play, and Taylor gives it. Oh, it's dropped. Rolling around. Taylor gets it.
That play had disaster written on it from the start. It didn't look like the running back was even waiting for the ball.
No, Horde just dropped it. He didn't expect it.
You know what's happened? He checks off. There was a check off. He obviously didn't hear the check off. No. And Michigan is lucky to get this ball back. They had a great opportunity to take advantage of field position after that punt. They've had a holding penalty and that messed up running play. They got third and I don't know, 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah, it's 38, and it's now all the way back to the 19. So it's 41 yards. Here's Horde on the screen. Got away from it. At least the first wave, and to give a little room for Stapleton as he got up to about the 27-yard line. So Chris will have to come on into the ball game now. And unless they can, let's see now, they put it at the 28-yard line, and it'll be third down and 20. They got some of it back. It's a 10-10 tie, 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the football game. Michigan and Southern California as Florida State beat Nebraska 41-17. Third and long with Taylor settling under center. They don't use the shotgun. It's good. It's good for a big gain up to the 46-yard line, but it's 2 yards short of a first down as McMurtry caught it in the crowd, and Michael, in looking over the field trying to find somebody to throw to, almost waited too long.
It's a big completion for Michigan, though, just field-wise. They get the ball up near the 50, and if they can get the punt off. Let's take another look. McMurtry is running a square in over the middle of the field. Dangerous when the receiver is just waiting around for the ball. That is dangerous right there. This is dangerous here for Michigan, the way they've been punting the ball. One block and another one almost blocked.
Punts have been among the more exciting moments in this ball game, and they almost had to try it without the 11th man. Anderson, oh, they're going to run it. He's got the first down. Penalty flags are down. Stapleton is all the way down inside the 35 to the 32. But look out for a penalty against Michigan. Oh my gosh, somebody made a mistake. He had it in his pocket. There wasn't anybody on this side of the field, and they're going to blow it right here. Holding. Michigan.
The Bo has been known to be conservative over the years, but he's certainly not being that way in his last game. Take a look at the bottom of your screen. Not number 3, but maybe 24. 24.
Fourth down.
Yeah, 24 definitely has his arm. Good call. Good call.
I think they just flagged the side of the bench, too. There's a lot of noise going on around the Michigan side. Bo's last game, he may get teased right out of here.
Is it only fitting that we see all the different sides of Bo Schembechler in his last game?
Why not?
He is a competitor. He is a lot of things. He has a sense of humor. He'll laugh at himself. He is a competitor.
Right there, he isn't yelling at the officials. He's yelling something out to his players. But instead of being in a position to pin Southern California back, after that little siege, Southern California ought to have the ball at least on their 40, if not midfield.
Bottom line, it was a good call.
A low kick. Wallace has got room. And now there's a penalty flag down. And it's probably clipping against Southern California because one of Welborn was taken down back on the 40-yard line. So let's back up Southern California here. As all of a sudden the whole thing's starting to unravel. Everybody's making mistakes.
Well, when you're coming down in the fourth quarters, you see a clip. Southern Cal coming down late in the fourth quarter, a tie game. Field position is so very important because all you're looking at is field goals.
That's right, place to kick it from.
And they're giving up field position right and left here. Michigan just gave up possession.
We have 15 on the run back, first down.
Right there, 46. I think that's Louisi.
Yep, it is.
So both teams giving up valuable yardage with penalties, and Michigan making a big mistake, giving up possession when they had the fake punt.
So Southern California has it now at the 25. Urbans with the ball. And taken down by Eric Anderson. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team for the 19th year. Chevrolet Scholarship Program contributing $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. The ball is up at the 27, where it is second down and 8. Marinovich steps away from the pressure and drills the ball into the 31-yard line to Leroy Holt. They've got to go to the 35 to get the first down. It's Anderson again, 37, right there. Four minutes and 10 seconds to play in a 10-10 tie. Field position, field position, field position. Marinovich keeps it on the option for the first down. Big play there. He gets the gamer, isn't he?
Certainly is, and that is one of the big reasons that this running game is so tough to defend. Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, says not only can they run the ball well, but Marinovich this year is running the option much more than they did last year with Rodney Peete, even though Peete was a better runner.
Now on first down from the 38 to the shotgun. Abrams after him, hits him just as he throws it. And it is caught by Urbans, and it is caught for a first down at the Michigan 49-yard line. And the clock shows 3:25 to play in the game.
We talked about the importance of the two quarterbacks in this ball game, and then Marinovich just made a big league play. Outside the pocket, knew he had plenty of time, knew exactly how much time, and made a big completion.
Welborn hits him. as he crosses the 45. That's about a 5-yard pickup.
Well, right now,
Urbans has 104 yards.
4 yards, and what now? John Matsko, the offensive coordinator for SC, and Larry Smith. We got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. There's Matsko. Plenty of time on the clock. In fact, we don't want to rush this. We don't want to get out too soon and make our attempt. Again, they're in great shape. A lot of timeouts left.
That's incomplete. Joel Scott was over there. He was well covered by David Key.
Michigan, on the other hand, defensively, as you take a look at Rodriguez getting ready, Michigan wants to attack. They want to get him out of field goal range. Blitz put some pressure on him. Here's a look at Lloyd Carr. He's been mentioned for a couple of jobs, too. You know, before long, he'll be a head coach somewhere. He's a fine young man as Smith wants a timeout.
3rd down coming up. 3rd down and 6. Each team 2 timeouts remaining. Time remaining 2 minutes and 29 seconds in this 76th Rose Bowl. And we're struggling at 10-10.
As I look at that 10-10, I'm reminded what Hayden Fry told us earlier in the season about a tie last year between Michigan and Iowa. Yep. Bo went to the center of the field to shake Hayden's hand.
Yep.
Bo said to Hayden, "What a waste of time."
Yeah, that was after his people dropped the ball on the Iowa 1. Lost it.
Yeah.
Marinovich working out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 6. That's good to Jackson, and a 1st down. Now they're getting close. 1st down at the Michigan 24-yard line at 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the ball game. To about the 21. The Southern California offensive front now is getting a very good surge against the Michigan defenders because Michigan's trying to gap, trying to slant, trying to find a way. And sometimes it forces you into just enough off balance that they can buck you out of there.
Their style is bend, don't break. They cannot bend anymore. Rodriguez will be in field goal territory.
This is Holt. And they'll give him the 18, and Rodriguez is now within his range. And timeout with 1:31 to play.
The 76th Rose Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Today Chevrolet, who invite you to see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. By UPS, fast, efficient service to 175 countries and territories worldwide. By Extra Strength Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most. And by Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week, we'll take off the weight.
Bowl, Southern California, 3rd down and 4. The ball at the Michigan 18. Leroy Urbans to the 15, the 14, and a 1st down for Southern California. Stopping the clock at 1:26 to play. Bo Schembechler trying to go out after 21 years at Michigan, a winner. Larry Smith, who served on his staff for 6 years as an assistant, trying to win his first ever as the coach of the Trojans. And it has been no fashion Donnybrook to this point. Marinovich to Urbans again, bouncing outside. Ricky Urbans, touchdown, Southern California.
get a shot, but then Irvin jumps to the outside as Welburn misses the tackle.
Reacting to the play. The man on the left in the white sweater is going to go 40 feet high. There he goes.
It's a very emotional game. Both sides, obviously for Schembechler his last game. But Smith has never won a Rose Bowl. He's been in it 3 years in a row. And these seniors for SC have never won a bowl game, let alone a Rose Bowl. Schembechler has been to 16 straight bowl games in his 21 years at Michigan.
That possession, 11 plays, 75 yards, 4:05 in time. And time is the most precious commodity in the Rose Bowl confines right now. 1 minute and 10 seconds. 70 seconds. Michigan with 1 timeout remaining. Just 1.
Michigan came up with a miracle on this same field early in the year against UCLA.
Runestrom knocks it down to the 12-yard line where Allen Jefferson has it, breaks to the outside, and a penalty flag. Referee dropped it back around the 15-yard line. Against Southern California. Personal foul against the Trojans. They used 4 seconds.
Personal foul on the defense. First down.
What do you do?
Personal foul on Hollingswest gives Michigan good field position. They only have 1 timeout yet.
I think this may be, David Bernson says it's the best starting point they've had in a possession. Up on their 44. Todd Barry's been our spotter today. Thank you, gentlemen, for another good season. First down. And Michael Taylor back steps up under the pressure and throws to the sidelines and throws short. Chris Callaway was there in front of Dwayne Garner.
This is where the pressure, the defensive line and linebackers of SC really come into play. They're good at rushing the passer. Owens and Ryan and Seau. Michigan is not as good at protecting the passer as those guys are rushing the passer.
Big fellow right there is the one that sends him to Tom Rogeman. Second down and 10 for Michigan from their 44 with 1:01 to play. USC 17, Michigan 10. Passes away underneath. It is incomplete. Bunch was there, and in desperation, Michael Taylor was trying to get the ball to him, but Jared didn't know it because he was not the designated receiver.
This is the type of game right now that Southern Cal defensively likes. They like to rush the passer. Michigan trying to play catch-up. Passing game is like a fish out of water.
56 seconds, and it's third down and 10, 17 to 10. We're getting into the final minute here of the Rose Bowl game. Taylor's got to buy some time. He's got to roll it out. He's got to get out of there somehow and get some time. He lets it go for Howard down the middle. And Howard can't track it down, and it is fourth down and 10, and you've got 50 seconds to play in the Rose Bowl game.
Well, Howard was down there and had a chance. It just had to be a perfect throw.
Miami and Alabama coming up in the Sugar Bowl, USF&G Sugar Bowl out of New Orleans, the Superdome, in a few minutes, as soon as we settle our issue here in Pasadena, California.
You know, Schembechler and Smith, we talked about them working together, but their wives, Billy Schembechler and Cheryl Smith, the best of friends, spent a lot of time together while they were out here this week.
Could be the last play for Bo Schembechler, and his quarterback will be sacked inside the 25-yard line. Craig Hartsacker and Junior Seau. There's 41 seconds to play in the ball game. And Michigan with one timeout. But unless there is the heavens part and present us with a stunning miracle, this one is in the book. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Ricky Irvins of Southern California and Leroy Horde from Michigan. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and financial needs. Irvins, 30 carries, 126 yards and a touchdown, 5 passes, 44 yards. Leroy Horde had 17 carries and 108 yards. Whistles stop him. Time remaining, you see, 36 seconds.
In 21 years at Michigan, that man won 14 Big Ten titles. He finished in the top 10, 16 of those 21 years in the national rankings.
Well, he walks away from his coaching career at Michigan with the respect of virtually everybody I've ever talked to. I've known him a long time, and I've talked to him myself many times. I spent a lot of time with him. I don't know that I've ever asked a question and failed to get an answer. I don't know that I've ever run across anything that was ever calculated or anything less than straight up and honest.
The thing that I noticed working with him the last few years is several traits: honesty, integrity, his fairness, sincerity, his modesty, his competitiveness. He's a father figure to these kids, and you ask him what he'll miss most. It's the kids.
Yep.
No question.
But when it's time, the important thing is to know it, right?
No question.
And he knows it. That Rozier clock, Michigan cannot stop it again. Larry Smith has gotten his bat. They have just soaked him, but Larry and the Southern California seniors have won their first bowl game. There's his ride. And going straight across the field to shake his hand will be his old boss, old Schembechler. Mike Adamley is in the crowd.
Coach. Mike Adamley, ABC, got one.
Losing his last game 17-10. Here's Jack Arute with a winner.
Well, Coach, it looks like the third time was finally the charmer for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's just basic football. I think that second half we finally got back up control with our defense. Kicking game came through. It was a combination. It was really just a great team game.
Well, Don Petty is here to make the presentation of this beautiful trophy, and I know it's extra special to you tonight.
There is. Thank you, Don. Major here again. Congratulations.
And so it is done. Southern California wins it 17-10.